Hollow Knight is a game I hold really close to my heart ever since I completed it during the lockdown. When everyone went into it, after hours of mind-numbing online school, I just turned on my Switch and escaped the Hollowness for a while, just to see if I could finally beat Watcher Knights and move on with the game. Hollow Knight started out as a game jam called Hungry Knight. The developers, who are also known as Team Cherry, liked the design of the little playable character, and they made their own Metroidvania game. But you might be asking, what is a Metroidvania? Metroidvania games are a platformer type of game where you're just plonked into a massive world and you just get to explore. The pioneers of the genre are Super Metroid and Castlevania Symphony of the Night. But Hollow Knight does something, you see, a little different. The Knight now needed a compelling world to venture into. The secret to any great Metroidvania is how well the map interconnects with itself, opening up previously inaccessible areas with abilities you've gained, giving players a true sense of discovery, all while subtly planting narrated seeds throughout. Game Informer. You have 4 abilities to start out in Hollow Knight: moving left and right, jumping, attacking with your nail, which is pretty much a sword, and healing. Healing is determined by that little soul meter. You get your soul back by defeating enemies, but if you die, your shade gets released and you lose all of your geo, or money, and you can only use half of your soul meter. If you defeat your shade, you regain your geo and the remaining piece of your soul meter. Alright, now we get into the spoiler territory. I highly suggest you play this game. It's $15, and then when it's not, and it's on sale, it's like $7.5. That's a good price. Alright, you've been warned. Don't angrily send me messages because you spoiled it for me. I warned you. Don't say I didn't warn you. The main premise is to awaken the 3 dreamers: Hera the Beast, Lorien the Watcher, and Monomon the Teacher. They agreed to steal something away, so the Pale King put them in a forever sleep to save his kingdom. This, however, wasn't enough. See, they needed a pure vessel to seal it in completely. So the Pale King had an idea. Void. An ancient substance could be formed into the perfect vessel. It had no emotions or feelings. Until they gained it themselves. The Pale King created many vessels, but they weren't hollow. So he threw them into the abyss, killing them, but their shade lived on. He eventually found one, a perfect vessel. But he bonded with his vessel, and it wasn't hollow anymore. Soon, the infection leaked out and all hope seemed lost. Some unspecified time goes by, and that's where you come in. So now that's the lore bit done and out of the way. Let's talk about the main focus of why you play a Metroidvania. The world. It's one of the best parts about this game. I'm not going to show you all of it. I'm just going to show you what's in this clip. But just because it feels alive. And it feels good. And it feels natural. And there's originality seeping from every corner. You have your forgotten crossroads. Yeah, I mean, it sounds lame. But once you awaken one of the dreamers, it transforms into the infected crossroads, where all the enemies are way more infected and deal way more damage. There's Green Path, where all the enemies are like grass and plant-like, and these bear trap guys. And these moth things are great. And there's Crystal Peaks, where all the miners and conveyor belts and crushers, the Dirt Mouth, which is your hub of sorts, and with the best character, Elderbug. There's Kingdom's Edge, where it's just a giant husk of a creature. There's Fungal Wastes, where the mantis people live. And there's mushrooms. Queen's Gardens is where the former Queen of Hollowness resides. Fog Canyon, where Monomon lives. Resting Grounds is where you get the Dream Nail. Royal Waterways, which is like my best and worst area because it's a giant sewer system and it's really creepy. The City of Tears, which is like by far one of my favorite areas. The Hollowing Cliffs, where one of the DLCs can be activated. And the ancient basin where all the shade live. And Deep Nest. Oh my god. I hate Deep Nest. But at the same time, I like it. It's so creepy. When you kill an enemy, it just turns into a spider and just dashes at you. It's creepy, but it's super cool. The world feels alive and expansive, but when you really look back at it, it's really small and minuscule at the same time. And I think that's really cool, actually. And I should also mention that the lore to this game goes deep. Like, really deep. If you're interested, there's a YouTuber named Mossbag. And he has a YouTube channel where he explains all the lore, and he's still not done with it. Now for the more story stuff. In the Resting Grounds, where you get the Dream Nail, I never really got to explain what it does. So the Dream Nail, you use it on, like, the friendly characters, and you look into their minds, pretty much. And if you Dream Nail the boss, or the final boss, you'll enter his dream, where the Radiance is. The thing that's causing all the zombie things. And this is the hardest fight in the game. In my opinion, you don't have to agree with it. The Radiance does 2 hearts of damage at a time. But the ending, after you defeat it, it is just crazy. I'm just gonna show you a clip. It's stunning. Like, I literally have no words. Now, I may say this game is flawless, but it's not. I do have some gripes. For example, there are these little grubs that you find. But some of them just are in such weird positions that you cannot find them without a guide. And a lot of times you get lost because you think you're going the right way. Like, on my first playthrough, I went into Deepness without the lantern, and you can't see anything. And I got stuck trying to get out. I mean, I did get out, but that was really hard. Activating the Grim Troop was painful because I couldn't find the thing to activate it, and I was just wandering around hollowing cliffs, and I just looked up a guide and used that. But most of those reasons, or all of them, are just me being stupid, and I'm willing to look past that because this game is wonderful, and I think everybody should experience this. I mean, I know I could just play Hollow Knight again, but that's not the point. Do you ever wish you could just wipe your memory of a favorite game just to experience it again? Because that's what Hollow Knight is to me. Just to go and do it. It's really a good example of show, don't tell. Like most games nowadays, it's like, oh, you got to do this. But Hollow Knight's just like, you figure that out on your own. And I cannot wait for the sequel, Hollow Knight Silksong, to get released. Thank you for watching this video.